Okay, continue.
I cannot work with this person, this horrible person, like this, like that. So I tell them, see, in this world, this is the kind of people we have, like this one, like that one, like that one, like that one, this is the kind of people we have. If you think what you're doing is significant enough, you have to work with these people. This is the sort of people we have. But if you want to work with ideal people, you must go to heaven and today.
Good response. So, someone's writing in, how does one start a movement for positive change, like Rally for Rivers? How did you get it off the ground?
So the most important thing is, if we talk about some vague, abstract idea, it's not going to reverberate with the people. It must concern their lives. And if you clearly make it in such a way that it's about them, it's not about you, then naturally people will take up to it. One simple thing which is very clear in my mind, when I said this one sentence reverberated across the country in India. I said, this is not an agitation, this is not a protest, this is a campaign to raise awareness and to bring about a policy for the well-being of our rivers. So once I said it's not against you or anybody for that matter, it is not against the political powers, it is not against any particular group, it is not against the farmer, it is not against the city dweller, it is not against anybody. It is just that our rivers are dying, we need to do something. When it was appealed in such a way that it was never against anybody, it is for everybody, and it's not about me, it's about you, naturally people reverberate with that.
Absolutely. So, I'm getting a question here. How can we, school students, give our support to Rally for Rivers? This is from someone in India.
This is one phenomenal thing that happened in the country, the school children. Incredible things that they produced in the last 3 months. The way they stood up and supported, the kind of, lot of artwork they did and the messages they gave out and the videos that they made. The children did such a fantastic job which inspired millions of people to act. And when we asked them to paint a river, we had a painting competition running across some 160,000 schools. The most painful thing was to see that many children just painted sand and they thought it's a river, because that's the kind of river they've seen.
Right.
They've never seen a flowing river. And we made some kind of a brief survey and we found 80% of the population below 20 years of age in a city has not seen a river in their life. They only read about it, they only heard about it, they saw it in the movies, but they've never seen a river in their life because they never went. They live in an apartment home, they just go to school and they come back and they study and that's about it. They never went to a river. So when I made this thing that, it's something that I always kind of, against people taking selfies with me, and I have never taken a selfie myself. I said I'm compromising this no selfie business, and I took 8 selfies till now with 8 different rivers, and it caught on in a big way that Sadhguru is taking selfies. I said only with a river, not with you, not with anybody, not with prime ministers and presidents, but only with a river I will take a selfie. And children started taking selfies with the rivers. They compelled their parents to take them to the rivers, and this became a large movement, and children have done wonderfully well. So for the child who's asking this question, the time for giving the missed call is over. It is in the works to become a policy. So we will be calling for, depending upon where you are. Right now we called forth for full-time volunteers. Nearly, I think, 6,000 people have registered for this. and a few hundred will be coming and moving into the yoga center to work from there, the rest will work in various cities. Whichever city you are, if you register in the Rally for Rivers website, we will see how to engage you in some form.
Wonderful. Okay, now we all know the trick if you want a selfie with Sadhguru. Find a river. All right.
You have to have a river in the background.
I don't know if we have… well, we have the Rhine, huh? Not far. So, this is an interesting one coming in. There seems to be no justice in climate change. Developed countries that are taking up most of the carbon budget are the ones that flourish, whereas others are on the brink of disaster. Does the law of karma really work?
See, if we look for justice in the world, we will end up with a fight. The moment you demand justice, believe me, you will end up with a fight or with reprisals. So, whatever people have done, have done. Right now, how to get the world to be far more inclusive than the way it is what we should look at. If you ask for justice, in a way, in their minds, from whomever you are demanding justice, in their mind it looks like revenge. You're trying to avenge for what they have done in the past. It's not going to work. So we should look for a more inclusive world, because what you call as environment is most inclusive, it doesn't spare anybody. So we just have to make common cause out of this. Those nations, those societies who have been little left behind in development, of course we have a challenge. We will have to pitch our causes in the international forums and for the right kind of laws. If you are asking, is this my karma? Yes, it is, because karma means action. You have not performed the right kind of action, so you are paying the price for it. It's time we do the right kind of things now. We must understand this much, that in our lives, if we do not do what we cannot do, there is no issue. But if we do not do what we can do, we are a disastrous life. So don't be a disastrous life thinking up all kinds of philosophies for yourself. It is very important we as a generation of people do whatever we can do to set things right. And this is our time on the planet. We must understand this. Those of you who think you're immortal, I'm just reminding you, you're mortal, you'll be dead one day, all right? On that day you will do something very eco-friendly, that you get buried in the planet. It's a very good thing to do. But right now we must understand, we are here for a brief amount of time, like a baton carrier in a relay race. Whichever way the previous generation gave this planet to us, we are supposed to make it better and give it. But we as a generation, we cannot make it better. We have taken a huge bite of this planet. So it's important that at least we make an attempt to give this planet to the future generation as it was given to us. At least to that extent we must do, and there is enough time to do that. In the next 25 years, the damage that we have caused in the last 50 years can be turned around if we do all the right things. The question is only, are we going to be that generation which has the courage and the commitment to do the right things, or are we a vain generation who just talk about it and walk away?
Right. So on that vein, I just got a question. What do you think the youth around the world need to do to leave this world a better planet for the next generation?
Well, everybody will tell you consume less and save the water, save this, save that. Yes, all those things must be done, I'm not questioning that. But the most fundamental thing that nobody wants to address in this world is, see, at the beginning of 20th century, we were only 1.6 billion people. Today we are 7.3 billion people. I think that's an irresponsible reproduction. This is not just because of reproduction, our lifespans have increased. That means we have postponed death. If we have postponed death, is it not important to postpone birth? I am not talking about any great philosophy, I am just talking about simple arithmetics. If you postpone death, should you not postpone booth. And we're nice, but we're just too many. If we do not reduce the human footprint on the planet, do whatever you want, all kinds of technologies, all kinds of philosophies, all kinds of environmental movements, we have to reduce the human. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Thank you. Thank you. That's good.
Yes.